Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are finally having our Missing Person Monday on the right day this week. Last couple of weeks we've done it on Tuesday for one reason or another, scheduling conflicts, but it is good to be back on a Monday. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody had a good week last week, had a good weekend. I hope everybody's staying warm, or unless your weather is like Arkansas weather, which is still schizophrenic. It was like 60 in the 60s here today, and it's going to drop down into the 20s or 30s, and then they said by Sunday here it could be up in the 70s, so go figure. But anyway, welcome. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do this every week, like I said, our weekly Missing Person Monday video. For the last few months we've been featuring a state a week, missing from each state a week, and now we started out with the southern states, then we went to the Midwest states, and now we are doing the eastern states. So when we get done with the eastern states, we'll move over to the west, and after that we may just, unfortunately there are so many missing people out there, and most of these are cold cases. I feature a lot of cold case missing on this channel. But there are just so many that, I mean, you know, we could be on here 24/7 and still not, unfortunately, be able to cover everybody. So we may just start all over again and maybe go in, you know, alphabetical order this time instead of going by region. But we'll figure it out. So let's see who we have in here. Miss Paula is here. Hello, Miss Paula. Good, always good to see you. Lisa Joe is here, our resident Spice Girl. Good to have you here, Miss Lisa. Junior Johnson. Hello, Junior. Always an honor to have you here. Is here from Michigan. Oh, everything's jumping on me. Oh, whole bunch of comments popped up. Hold on. There we go. Have to get back down to where I was. Shauna M is here. Welcome, Shauna. Good to have you here. Miss Honeybee is here. Hello, Honeybee. I always see Honeybee in Owl on the Prowl. She's one of our night owls that shows up in Dave's late night streams. But good to see you here. Always good to have one of my original gals, Michigan Wifey, here. I hope you are doing well. Shauna says that she lived in I lived in Michigan my whole life, moved to Tennessee 7 years ago. Excellent. Yep. Junior is in Michigan. Michigan Wifey obviously is in Michigan. We have a lot of people from Michigan that come in here. Hello again, Miss Lisa Joe. Which Spice Girl are you tonight, Miss Lisa? I probably know, but Shauna says she was born and raised. Once again, my comments are jumping. Born and raised there all my life. Hold on, let me put it up there. Born and raised there, all my family's still there. Go home a couple of times a year. Excellent. Mr. Klein is here from Missing Black People the Forgotten. Always an honor to have you here, sir. Please do check out Klein's channel if you haven't already. Hopefully, most of you guys and gals have already checked him out. Excellent channel. Let's see. Just want to get everybody in. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured, Miss Lisa Joe. Oh, that's all right. You go, girl. You do you. Sometimes you have to be. I'm telling you, especially with what you put up with. All right. So tonight we are featuring. I think I have 7 cold case missing persons from Connecticut. Don't know where Kansas came from. From Connecticut to share with you tonight. Thank you. Miss Lisa has got Klein's channel in there. Please do go over there, subscribe, watch the stuff. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. There's Miss Doodle, one of my favorite people in the whole world. How are you doing, Miss Doodle? I've got to be on Replay Crew on your every morning, or not every morning, on Monday mornings now. Miss Doodlebug is doing a missing persons live stream, and I missed it. I was out and about today. Me and my mom went up and picked up her new glasses, and we went out to eat for lunch and ran some errands. So I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I will definitely be on Replay Crew because Miss Doodle does excellent work. Chris is here. Chris made it. Hello, Chris. Good to see you. There, speaking to Dave, his ears must have been burning. He's probably he'll be listening and driving. Says hello all, checking in before work. See you all in the car. You be careful out there, Dave. Dave, did you or anybody? I know Dave is on the northeast coast. Anybody else on the northeast coast? Apparently, there was an earthquake, small earthquake, at some point today. Did you feel that, Dave? I don't know. I know it was just in the northeast somewhere. I don't know where it was centered at, but it wasn't a very big one. But apparently, it was enough for it to rattled some stuff. So, thank you, Miss Doodle. Yeah, definitely. With work and running errands, sometimes I don't get to be there in live on live streams, but I always try to be on the Replay Crew for everybody's lives that I miss. Let's see. Chris said he was there being nice. You're always nice, Chris. There's Miss Nancy from Murder Mystery Delmarva. Hello, Nancy. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Honeybee says small. Are you talking about the earthquake? Yeah, I don't think it was very big. They were talking about it on the Weather Channel this morning. Let's see if anybody else snuck in on me, and then we will get started. Thank you, Miss Doodle. There is Dave, Alan the Prowse channel. Please do check out Dave. He does usually one live stream a week, Saturday night, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. So if you're a night owl, like some of us here, you can catch it live. Join us in chat. Always a great chat. Dave always has great information about cases and true crime in the news. But if you can't make it, excuse me. Like I said, this weather, temperature going up and down has got me all stuffed up again. But anyway, if you can't stay up to watch Dave live, please be Replay Crew. Please subscribe to him. Leave a comment on the, if you're watching Replay Crew, leave a comment, share it. All those things help. All right. So Dave says we get quakes here all the time, just never feel them. Yep, and like I said, I can't remember where they said exactly it was kind of centered at. Somewhere in the northeast, up yonder way, up Dave's way. Oh, is Nancy not feeling good? Oh, did I miss something? Uh-oh. Nancy says, sick as a dog again. Good to see you too. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I hope you get to feeling better soon, Miss Nancy. Yeah, like I said, with this weather going from 70s to 30s to 60s to 20s, it keeps my sinuses all stuffed up. Thank you, Miss Doodle, for getting everybody's link in there. Once again, there is Mr. Klein's link. She's got yes, can't forget Mind of Monsters. Can't forget Mom. She does wonderful work. Skits West Side. Let me get this right. Skits West Side Crime Music is here. Hey, Skits. Skits. Also, can't talk tonight as usual. Good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. I saw that you were doing a live earlier. I will definitely have to be a Replay Crew on that. Miss Lisa Joe says, I was doubling on Saturday and was there for his whole stream Saturday night. Who are you talking about? Who? What did I mean? Oh, Dave. Are you talking about Dave? Oh, yeah. Never mind. I remember you said in chat you were doubling. You were two-timing Dave. Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Whole bunch of comments just popped up again. Honeybee says EQ was out in the ocean. Dave says the Maine, New Hampshire coast is where the center was. Okay, thank you, thank you. Like I said, I don't think it was. Thankfully, it was not big. Just maybe a little bit of trembling that people felt. Everything keeps jumping on me as usual. Honeybee says about 8 years ago we had one that made the building shake. Oh, that would be scary. Yeah, here in Arkansas, we have them here in Arkansas because we're on whatever fault line we're on. I can't think right now. But usually, I'm in central Arkansas, and we usually don't feel them here. It's usually more in the northeast part of Arkansas where they feel them at. But I can't remember the last time that we've had one here. You are more than welcome. Absolutely. Yes, you were two-timing Dave. Shame on you. Yes. Miss Doodle says, please hit that like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Share the link out. If you're watching replay, thank you so much. We love our Replay Crew. Leave a comment. Share it. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you would like to learn more about the missing and unsolved cold cases, check out my playlist for everything that I've done so far. And this February, I believe it's February the 13th, will be the 2-year anniversary for the channel. So hopefully we can do maybe a fun live stream to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of this my little endeavor here, our endeavor, because this channel belongs to all of us, to the whole community, because I could not do it without you guys, obviously. So I'll be looking forward to that. Oh, did I miss Arctic? Oh, there he is. Wait a minute. Well, see, my comments keep jumping and I keep missing people. I know I just saw Arctic. There he is. Hey, buddy, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been feeling under the weather. Always good to have Arctic here. Please do check him out also. And of course, Miss Doodle has already got his link in. Thank you so much. Yeah, Skit says, yeah, when we have them, mirrors and cups all jump around. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Thank you, Arctic. Yes. The New Madrid Fault runs through or close to Arkansas. See, I was never good with, what would that be, like geography, whatever in school. Well, not my strong point, obviously. Yes. So the New Madrid Fault is what is around here where we get our earthquakes from. Yes, is that the one they did earlier? Chris said that Skits did the Trenton Duckett case recently. Was that the live that was tonight or earlier tonight? Like I said, I will get over there and watch replay. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe. Got Miss Nancy's link in there. Thank you so much. Miss Doodle got Skits channel in there. Doodle asked me, do I sell merch? I do have a shop, but it was when I first started my channel, or not when I first started, but when I first started to do like live streams and stuff like that. I do have a bonfire, and a bonfire, it's like bonfire.com, but there are a few designs, but it's like the old logo designs. So I want to go through and revamp and try to come up with some kind of, you guys that are more creative than me can probably help me out with some like some new branding, new logo designs or something to incorporate maybe the dumpster fire or the like not necessarily my face, but the Southern Gal True Crime. And I'm also thinking about doing because I came across some really cute. I spent some of the time while I was waiting on my mom when she was getting her glasses today on Amazon and eBay, and found some really cute, like true crime related, like little charms and stuff. And I want to try to do like keychains and things of that nature that are true crime related. Because I did still do sometimes make jewelry. It's just that with arthritis in my hands, I can't, and my eyes getting so bad, I can't hardly do jewelry anymore. But putting together keychains wouldn't be too awful hard. But so I'm thinking about doing something like that. Maybe doing like some true crime mystery boxes to sell with some cute stuff to put in, just ideas. But if any of you guys have any ideas for merch that you would like to see, let me know. Put it in chat, put it in call me in of any of the videos. You can always email me if I can find where's it at? There it is. You can always email me at southerngauchocrime@hotmail.com for anything, for any cases you'd like me to cover, any merch ideas or anything. So anyway, I know that's probably a very long-winded explanation to Doodle's question, but and now I got to get back to where I was at. Where was it at? Hold on 1 minute. I lost my place. I'll get back to it. I went down too far. Oh, okay. So there was a question. Okay, so I'm back down to where I was. So the answer to your question is yes and no. I kind of want to revamp my bonfire store, maybe just sell through, because I do have Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. Maybe just not have to go through a third party who takes a percentage of stuff. But we'll figure something out. I could maybe post stuff on my Facebook page, or I could re-up. Well, when I used to sell jewelry, I had an Etsy shop, but Etsy got to where they took so much percentage of what you sold, that it just became ridiculous. So I finally just closed down my Etsy shop for my jewelry. But anyway, thank you, Honeybee. Honeybee says, I came in to leave a like and say hello. Hope you all have a great chat. Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Arctic. Has got Miss Doodle's channel in. Thank you so much. Oh, Miss Lisa just said I need some dumpster fire merch. I know. That's what I want to try to do, is kind of incorporate the dumpster fire theme, since it's a running theme through the channel, and through the members. You know, I'm gonna have to try to figure something out. Anybody who can has a good imagination, and can come up with some kind of graphic to incorporate. So we got the dumpster fire, we got the cow, and we got the Southern Gal True Crime. So we can find a way to incorporate those three things into some kind of a design for a t-shirt, to put on like t-shirts and bags or whatever. That would be fantastic. So I will take anybody and everybody's ideas. Oh goodness, I hope I didn't miss Honeybee sent a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Honeybee. They're probably already gone, but nevertheless, we have our first cow in the pasture. Speaking of cows. Sorry, I was getting a drink. Thank you so much, Miss Honeybee. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate everything. Everything goes right back into the channel, so that will definitely help, especially paying for StreamYard. Man, StreamYard is expensive. And the only reason I use the paid version of StreamYard instead of the free version is because of me doing live streams now. And you guys who've been here know how long sometimes my live streams can go. If you have the free version, you can only use so many hours, and that includes live streams and recordings. You can only have so many hours a month, and I would definitely exceed the paid or the free version. So that's the only reason I pay for the very cheapest version or paid version you can get, which is like $40-something. So we can do these live streams. Oh, did I miss? Oh, there's Sunday Doodles. Hello, Sunday Doodles. Good to have you here always. Thank you, Miss Honeybee, once again for being here. Okay, so yes, so the live stream, Skits' live stream was earlier. Yes, I will definitely. Yes, I know. Junior says, hard to believe we've been here 2 years. I know. I was thinking it was just a year, but then I got to checking. I was looking at my about section. I think I went in and changed something as a link or something, and I looked at it and it says January. I believe it's February 13th of 2023 is when I created the channel. So this February will be 2 years. Yep, it is hard to believe, but I'm so thankful. There's Miss Barbara. Hello, Miss Barbara Hall. I hope you're feeling well, feeling better. If anybody doesn't know, Timmy's legacy is Miss Barbara Hall. She is still fighting for justice for her son, Timmy DEES. If you've not heard about Timmy's case, you can check out the videos I've done. The videos Arctic's done, Lawless Files, a whole host, Cryptex, Dago, everybody has done at least one live stream video or something about Timmy's case. So all you have to do is just go on YouTube and put in Timmy DEES, and they will pop up. But it's so good to see Miss Barbara here. Because we haven't seen her in a while. I know she wasn't feeling well for a while, and then she's been busy, so it's good to have her here. Yes, CalFi, my CalFi, yes, my cow farm signal. Oh goodness, I know. Miss Nancy says space cow. That would work too, absolutely. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe, for getting the Timmy's link in. I promise we're fixing to get started, guys. Miss Doodle says, I think mine will be train wreck merch. You do fine. You do fine. I loved the live you did with the Klein the other night. So good. So good. Welcome. If it'll come up. There we go. Nope, wrong one. There it is. John Keller, Connecticut's Most Wanted. Hello from East Haven, Connecticut. Welcome, John. Good to have you here. A new name. Glad you found us. Always glad to have new people come in. Yes, I missed you too, Miss Barb. I missed you too. That is a good idea. Arctic's idea for merch, a t-shirt is Wi-Fi powered by natural gas with a cow farting. That's my t-shirt idea. I like that. I like that. Oh goodness. Somebody who is better with making graphics that can be put on shirts can start working on something to that effect. That is perfect. That is perfect. Oh, let's see here. What else do we have? Miss Barb says it will be 3 years, February 28th. I can't believe it. I know. Yes, I'm going to have to be replay crew on that. Yes, I did see that Miss Doodle and Klein did do another live stream together. We'll have to definitely be on replay crew. Absolutely. Yes, Miss Barb is always in our thoughts and prayers. Most definitely. All right, guys, I think I'm caught up. Oh, I'm caught up. So we'll mark where we left off and we will get started first. Let me take this down for a minute. Before we get started with our missing, and I did do a short video on this. I'm gonna see if it'll let me share my screen. And I posted it, I think, yesterday. But for anybody who may have missed the video, not news that we like. You know, obviously we hope for the best outcome, but this and you guys may have already heard and read, but Cassie Renee Sheets disappeared in 2020, 21. No. I have covered her, shared her many times on here, but let me get back up here so I can read this. The remains that were found in 2021 have positively been identified as Cassie Sheets. So this is from newsnationnow.com, and I think it came out yesterday or the day before. Remains found in the Monongahela National Forest confirmed to be Cassie Sheets. Human remains found in 2021 have been identified as missing 24-year-old Cassie Sheets. Sheets, a mother of 3 children, was reported missing back in March of 2021 after being last seen near Spruce Knob in Pendleton County. The case went national with NBC News, Missing in America, who published a story on the disappearance in December of that year. In that same month, human remains were found by a hunter near Seneca Creek in the Monongahela National Forest, which were sent to the West Virginia Medical Examiner's Office in conjunction with the Smithsonian Institute and Marshall University. The West Virginia State Police confirmed in a press release on January 24th of this year, 2025, that recent DNA testing confirmed the remains as Cassie when compared to DNA samples sent by the Sheets family. The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is urged to call the Franklin Detachment at 304-358-2200. So, like I said, definitely not the you know, we always want hope for the best, but at least her family can she can be brought home, her family can lay her to rest, and hopefully they will find out what happened to her, you know, what happened. And just thoughts and prayers absolutely to her family and her loved ones. And I'll keep an eye on it, or we'll all keep an eye on it to see if anything, as far as see a cause of death or what may have happened, if any of that is released, we will bring it to you. All right. So, who are you talking about? Arctic says she's got another live tomorrow night, I believe. Are you talking about Miss Doodle? Absolutely, Miss Barbara. Yes, we're always praying. Sorry, guys, my nose is itching me between the sinuses and then the cat fur. It's driving me nuts. My nose itching. Yes, most definitely prayers for Cassie's family. Yep, absolutely. Artist says hope for the best, but brace for the worst. Yep, absolutely. Oh, Miss Barb is, hold on. Where'd it go? There it is. Miss Barb is doing a live Wednesday night at 6:30. Excellent. I will be there. I will do my best to be there. Or at 6, excuse me. 6:30 or 6. Or maybe both of you are doing one. Miss Barb says she's doing a live Wednesday night at 6:30, and then Doodle says yes at 6 Central. So y'all both doing a live? I'm confused. Oh. Okay, so Arctic says Miss Barbara will have Dago up on our panel. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. I will definitely catch it. Hopefully I can catch it live. If not, I will definitely be replay. I shouldn't have anything going on Wednesday. Depends on how late I work, but I work until the sun until it gets dark because I can't see to drive it after dark. So, and it gets dark here now. It's starting to be a little bit later after 5 o'clock now. But anyway, all right. Okay, Doodle. Okay, I'm gonna try to get everything straight. Doodles. So tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yeah. So Miss Doodles live is tomorrow. Excellent. Miss Lisa Joe asked with Klein. I hope so. I love that those two together. I'm telling you, watching that first one that I watched, I've got to watch the second one. Just excellent, excellent. Okay, thank you. Miss Nancy's keeping me straight. So tomorrow is Miss Doodles at 6 Central. Wednesday is Miss Barb and Dago at 6:30. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. Oh, let me stop sharing the screen. Put my. There we go. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Miss Doodle and Klein are fantastic together. Absolutely. All right, guys. We will get started. So again, let me mark where I left off. All right, so we're going to start with Maria Florence Anjiras. Let me get back to her information. Oh, if it'll come up, come on. There we go. So Maria, make sure I have the right slide up. Has been missing since February 12th of 1976. I have a lot of older, usually it's like the 80s and 90s, but I think we have one from the 70s and maybe even one from the late 60s tonight. But Maria be missing once again February 12th, 1976 from Norwalk, Connecticut. She is a white female. She was just 14 years old when she went missing. She would be 63 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'6", 120 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Her nickname is Mia. She was last seen wearing a green Norwalk High School jacket with Mia and the number 79 written on it, a peach-colored sweater, white canvas pants, and brown shoes. So Maria was last seen at her home on Millwood Road in Norwalk on February 12th, 1976. She was supposed to go to a vocal lesson in the afternoon. After that, she was going to babysit a neighbor's child that evening. Her father saw her at around 2:15 p.m. while he was leaving for work. Excuse me. Maria did not go to her lesson, her vocal lesson, or her 5 p.m. babysitting job. After her disappearance, her blue English racer bicycle was found abandoned near St. Mary's Lane, which was about 1 mile from her home. The bike was found at the home of one of Maria's friends, but the friend said that she had not seen or heard from Maria. There was no sign of Maria at the scene. She never returned home. So Maria's parents stated that she had been, behaving normally on the day that she disappeared. But she had threatened to run away 2 weeks before, but her father talked her out of running away. So apparently on the day she went missing, though, she reportedly took some money, pajamas, a pair of jeans, and several sweaters from her home when she went missing, indicating that she did leave of her own accord. So there were several reported sightings of her around Norwalk in the days and even weeks after her disappearance. Many of the witnesses were people who did know her. She was reportedly seen at the Dutchess restaurant on Main Street and possibly in an orange car and then in a black car in that same vicinity. In August of 1976, a 15-year-old classmate saw Maria at a bar on Westport Avenue and told her that she should go home. This friend said that Maria started crying and said, I know that I need to go home. And apparently, or allegedly, she was accompanied by a man who was a member of the Charter Oaks Motorcycle Club. Police identified the biker and traced him to the town of Bethel, Connecticut. So it was thought that Maria was sighted at the Charter Oaks Clubhouse on August 13th. But in 2015, authorities identified the girl that they thought was Maria. It was a different person. It was apparently a 17-year-old girl from Danbury, Connecticut. Maria apparently ran away when she left her home in 1976, but they said it would be highly unusual for her to not contact her family for so long. And there is suspicion that she was the victim of a crime. But there is no hard evidence that foul play was involved in her disappearance. Maria was a freshman at Norwalk High School in 1976. Her friends described her as an artistically talented teenager. She took ballet lessons, drama classes. She was involved in her school theater group. Unfortunately, both of Maria's parents passed away in the early 1980s, but her brother and her sister are still alive and hope, obviously, that she will be found safe and sound. But her case does remain unsolved. So if you have any information on Maria's case, you can call the Norwalk Police Department at 203-854-3000. I believe I had I try to find, for anybody that's new here, all the basic information that I use comes from Charlie Project, but I'll always try to find, get on the Google machine and try to find some articles with, especially interviews with family members, law enforcement who worked on the case, any updates on the case, any additional or corrected information, because sometimes Charlie Project's not always correct. But on a lot of these tonight, I couldn't find a whole lot of additional information, but we will go with what we have. So this comes from whereaboutstillunknown.com, and I don't know when it is from. It's from August of 2017. And just gives a little bit more detail about her supposedly being Maria supposedly being seen with this with this motorcycle club with these bikers. But Maria Florence Anjiras, age 14, disappeared from Norwalk, Connecticut on February 12th, 1976. I'll turn my camera off for a minute while I'm reading. Maria, who went by the nickname Mia, was last seen at home at about 2:15 by her father. He was leaving for work. She had vocal lessons scheduled for that afternoon. She was supposed to babysit a neighbor's child in the evening. As I said earlier, she showed up for neither the vocal lesson or to babysit. Her bicycle was found at her friend's house, at her friend Judy Altamosa's house near St. Mary's Lane. Her friend stated she had not seen Maria, did not have any idea where she was that day. It is believed that Maria initially left of her own accord. Once again, she had taken some cash along with clothing and personal items. She had threatened to run away a few weeks prior. Her father talked her out of it. There were reports that a loud argument took place in the Anjiras home on the day of Maria's disappearance, although Maria's parents they did deny that. As we talked about earlier, once again, in the days and weeks, there were several potential sightings of her in the area. One of her teachers said that she had seen Maria at a restaurant and spoke with her. Another friend said they ran into her, told her she should go home. That's when Maria said, I know. Many sightings placed Maria in the company of the Charter Oaks motorcycle gang. The friend mentioned above, who said that she had spoken to Maria, reported that she was in the company of bikers at the time of that sighting. And if this is true, very scary for anybody to be in a, scene with these kind of rough. Not saying that all bikers are rough, but like these, what they call the motorcycle biker gangs, the bad seeds, especially for a 14-year-old girl, just not a good environment. So police investigation into her possible connection to this Charter Oaks Club led to more sightings. Allegedly, she was seen laying on the lawn in front of the Charter Oaks clubhouse with a club member named Pepe. She was seen at a bar frequented by the bikers. She was also reportedly involved in a physical altercation with a girl named Donna. Once again, somebody said I saw her in an orange car, then a black car. And they say that she was just always seen to be one step ahead of everyone who was trying to find her. Eventually, the leads and sightings stopped coming, and it was speculated that she had left the area. Unfortunately, the case went cold. Fast forward to 2015, police announced that they had identified the girl who had been seen with Pepe. Once again, we said earlier, it was another 17-year-old girl. It was not Maria. So apparently this 17-year-old girl went on to marry Pepe, and they moved to South Carolina. And police indicated that they no longer considered the Charter Oaks connection relevant to Maria's case. However, 1 year later, in December of 2016, a news report was aired out of Bristol, Virginia. Media there had been contacted by law enforcement due to a new potential lead that Maria had been living at the Evergreen Motel in Bristol, Virginia in 1993. She apparently worked at an auto auction across the street, and she was using the alias Lynn. This woman, whose identity has not been confirmed, came to the area with members of a motorcycle club. So possible that it could have been Maria, but not confirmed. The owner of the Dominion Auto Auction was questioned. He did recall having an employee named Lynn. He said she had been responsible for driving the vehicles through the auction. It was just occasional work. He was shown a picture of Maria, but he could not say one way or the other if she was the same girl that he had hired. So the writer who wrote this article says, so maybe the motorcycle club connection theory shouldn't be dismissed so quickly. I kind of agree with that. Anything is possible. But the author of this article says, I continue to question how and under what circumstances Maria's bike ended up at her friend's house, with her friend having no knowledge of how it got there. I also had questions about that too. Because you would think, unless Maria was just snatched off the street, and once again, not knowing how many people were around, how busy the neighborhood was, if a stranger, you would think that if she was snatched by a stranger, somebody might have seen something. But for her bike to end up, at a friend's house instead of just somewhere, in a random parking lot or just on the side of the road, it makes you wonder. The writer goes on to say, I can certainly understand if Maria was, in fact, running away to escape problems at home, that her friend might have felt the need to cover for her. However, it's been over 40 years now. Her parents passed away in the 80s, never knowing what happened to their daughter. Her siblings are still searching. I hope that any friends who know anything will come forward. And they also made a good point. It says, if Maria rode her bicycle to her friend's house, where did she go from there? How did she carry all of those belongings that she had with her? Because remember, it said she took clothing, several sweaters, personal items. Kind of hard. Even if you had them in some kind of bag, would be kind of awkward to have on a bicycle with you. They also say, keep in mind, it was Connecticut and it was February, which means it was cold. Where did she sleep? The author says, I think there is a chance that Maria is still alive and out there somewhere. They say, I have even contemplated whether the police were sure the woman they spoke to, who married Pepe, wasn't actually Maria, living under a new identity. And they end by saying, I hope she can be found soon. Absolutely. So anyway, I just wanted to read that to you because it had some additional information about possibly Maria working at this auto auction and being seen with these motorcycle club members. But definitely very strange. All right, let me get caught up in you guys' comments once again. Okay, Ms. Doodle says tomorrow her live is with Julian and not Klein. Sorry guys, my nose is still itching. Judy, Lisa says Judy's case is super interesting though, and you'll love Julian. Judy who? Oh goodness, the cat. I just heard something crash. The cats must be running amok. Yes, definitely red flags in Maria's case. There's Miss Doris Bove. Hello, Miss Doris. Good to see you here. It's been a minute. And I believe Miss Doris is on in the New York, New Jersey area. I always talk about her accent. Did you feel the earthquake? We were talking about the earthquake over there earlier. Yep. Arctic says, well, there's a reason all the witnesses put her with bikers. I'm no Einstein, but I can do that basic math. Yeah. Yeah, you had so many of them saying that, the bikers kept coming up. And those kind of, what they call them, the one percenters, the ones that are really bad, the bike outlaw motorcycles that do all the illegal stuff. They definitely like the women and the young girls. But so yeah, I think in my opinion, there's probably something with the biker angle, but that's just my opinion. All right, Judith Ann Brown, excellent. Missing from New York City. I will definitely tune in. All right, so that was Maria. I'm sorry, I keep scratching my nose. Oh, the cat fur is killing me tonight. All right, so next we have Mary Edna Badaracco. Miss Paula, yes, Miss Paula lives in New Hampshire. She says she heard about it, but didn't feel it. Excellent. Okay. So let me get Mary's information. Get a drink. So Mary Edna Badaracco, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Badaracco. Sounds Italian to me, but I could be wrong. Has been missing since August 19th, 1984 from Sherman, Connecticut. She's a white female. She was 38 years old at the time she went missing. She'll be 78 as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'7", 145 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Her nickname was Mary Pooh. She has surgical scars on her abdomen due to a gallstone operation and an appendectomy. She has a scar on her right thumb from 4 previous stitches. She has psoriasis on both of her knees and elbows. Her ears are pierced. She was a chain smoker at the time of her disappearance, and she wore front dentures. So Mary was employed as a house cleaner in Sherman, Connecticut in 1984. She had a stormy relationship with her husband, Dominic Badaracco or Badaracco Sr. She had left him for short periods of time in the past. Shortly before she disappeared, Mary found out that Dominic was having an affair. Apparently, he did have a history of infidelity as well as DV. Excuse me. Mary decided to file for divorce. Mary's adult daughters last heard from her on August 19th, and then they reported her missing on August 31st. So Dominic claimed that he saw Mary for the last time on August 20th, when she packed all of her belongings and left their residence, which is on Wakeman Hill Road. None of Mary's personal items were located inside the house by her daughters. Her 1982 Chevy Cavalier was parked outside of their home at the end of the driveway. So if she left of her own accord, did she walk? The windshield on the driver's side of the vehicle had been smashed inward, and shards of glass were on the front seat. Mary's car keys. So if she was leaving, so Mary's car keys and her wedding ring were placed on the kitchen counter. So if her car keys were on the kitchen counter, unless she had 2 sets, how was she going to drive the car away? Just questions. Her clothes were missing, as were all of the framed photos of her, just her. Dominic claimed that he gave Mary between $100,000 and $250,000 to leave their residence as an informal settlement for the divorce. He maintained that she simply packed her things and left after receiving the cash. So once again, I ask, if she left of her own accord, why was the car sitting at the end of the driveway with a smashed windshield? Mary's daughters did have a close relationship with Mary in 1984. One of her daughters had just given birth to Mary's first grandchild. The other daughter was engaged to be married at the time. Other loved ones stated that she would never leave the vicinity without sharing her plans. So apparently Dominic told Mary's children not to tell anyone that Mary was gone. Do with that what you will. When they reported her disappearance, he told the police once again that she just left. He did admit having smashed the car windshield. Once again, if she didn't leave in the car, how did she leave? Unless she called somebody to come pick her up, but you would think that Dominic would say, hey, she called somebody to come pick her up. So Dominic admitted to smashing the windshield. The police did not seize the vehicle as there was no evidence of foul play. So hence, no processing of the car for any potential evidence of foul play. And conveniently, the car disappeared sometime later and has never been located. Surprise, surprise. There's no record of it being sold. There's no record of it being given away. It just disappeared. So on top of that, a woman and her daughters moved in with Dominic less than a week after Mary disappeared. Dominic said that he had moved in with his sister, and he was renting his house to this woman and her daughters, but he later married this woman. 2 days before Mary was reported missing, Dominic filed for divorce on grounds of abandonment. So this was 2 days before she went missing. He had already filed for divorce for abandonment. Divorce proceedings for Mary and Dominic took place in August of 1985, 9 months after Mary vanished. Mary obviously was not present at the hearing, and Dominic continued to insist that she left their home after accepting his cash offering. But there has not been any evidence of the cash or any trace of Mary's belongings since her disappearance. Mary's case was upgraded from a missing persons case to a homicide in 1990, 6 years after she disappeared. Investigators received a tip from an informant that Mary, once again, we have more motorcycle gangs going on. So apparently they got a tip from an informant that Mary's life was taken after members of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang issued a contract on her life. Just so happens that Dominic's son, Joseph, who has a criminal record for arson, is a member of the Hells Angels. Reportedly, Joseph and an accomplice named Steve took Mary's life because she was going to go to the police with incriminating information about Dominic. Now, what this information was, who knows? Joseph was interviewed in prison. So Joseph was Dominic's son. He was interviewed in prison. He refused to cooperate. This other guy, Steve, refused to be interviewed, but he did take a lie detector test. Reportedly, he failed it. Of course, we always have to say, you know, lie detector tests are not always reliable. So apparently the Steve fellow was later killed in a motorcycle accident. So this tip about possibly Joseph and the Steve fella taking Mary's life has never been confirmed. No charges have been filed in Mary's disappearance. Authorities searched the backyard of Ernest Dockenhausen's former home in September of 2007. They also brought him to the search site. He said he knew Dominic, but he had nothing to do with Mary's disappearance. That said, they did find some buried cars were located during the search. Does not say, surely they would have said if Mary's car was one of the buried cars that they found. In April of 2008, Dockenhausen was charged with a misdemeanor count of interfering with a police investigation in Mary's disappearance. Authorities stated that he gave false and misleading information to the police. At the trial, authorities identified Dominic, surprise, surprise, as the prime suspect in Mary's presumed death. And Dockenhausen was acquitted at his trial in May of 2009. So good old Dominic was convicted of attempted bribery in connection with Mary's disappearance in June of 2013. He had attempted to interfere with the grand jury probe into Mary's disappearance by offering the presiding judge $100,000. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison for that. So Mary has 11 siblings. She attended Danbury High School, but she dropped out at 16 to marry her first husband. They had 2 daughters. They divorced a few years later. Mary worked sporadically as a bartender and a house cleaner after the divorce and frequently changed residences. It says she enjoyed painting and drawing as hobbies. She married Dominic in 1970. He has 4 children from a prior marriage. Some agencies may list Southbury, Connecticut as the location of Mary's disappearance, and her case remains unsolved. So that was a lot of information to unpack about good old Dominic there and possibly his son Joseph. And I still don't know. I do have an article, I think, on this one. Let me check and see. Yeah, maybe with a little bit more information. I don't know what tip they got that sent them to search the backyard of this Ernest Dockenhausen in 2007. They just said a tip. He did know Dominic, it said. He said he had nothing to do with Mary's disappearance, but some buried cars were located on his property. And he was charged with misdemeanor count of interfering with a police investigation regarding Mary's disappearance. So if you have any information, you can contact the Connecticut State Police at 860-685-8000 or 860-355-9375. Yep, I see red flags everywhere. I'm going to get to y'all's comments, but let me see what this, let me find it. What kind of information this article had. I think maybe an interview with one of her daughters, maybe. And it is from newstimes.com. It's from August of 2024, so not too long ago. The last time Sherry Pissarro spoke to her mother was to invite her to the Bridgewater County Country Fair in 1984. Pissarro says it was a Saturday and I was going to the fair. Nope. Sorry, ads are popping up. She said it was a Saturday. I was going to the fair. She liked to go to places like that. So I asked if she wanted to go with me. She said she already had plans to go with her friend, but said, if you see anything cute that you think I'd like, pick it up. Said Pissarro, who didn't know it would be the last conversation that she would ever have with her mother. So her daughter says it's like a sick, sad movie, but it's not. Pissarro said about the unsolved disappearance and presumed homicide of her mother, who has not been seen or heard from since the summer of 1984. Despite several leads and tips over the years, including one from a former member of the notorious Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, who told authorities that the 38-year-old Danbury native and Sherman resident had been killed at the behest of her husband, no one has ever been charged. Mary Badaracco was reported missing August 31st, 1984. 11 days after her husband of 14 years claimed to have last seen her at their home in Sherman. The couple had lived in the house for less than a year, according to Pissarro, who described her mother as a generous, artistic, and wonderful person who cared about her friends and family very much. Pissarro said that she would have dinner with her at least once a week. During the last dinner together, Pissarro said her mother told her that she was planning to divorce Dominic because of infidelity. Mary's daughter, who is the oldest, Pissarro, who is the oldest of Mary's two daughters, said that she was very nervous. She said it wasn't the first time her stepfather, who co-owned a Danbury-based siding company at the time, had cheated on her mother, but finding makeup on his clothes seemed to have been the last straw. When Dominic Badaracco arrived home that evening, Pissarro said her mother, quote, got really nervous and asked her to leave, and she did, not knowing it would be the last time that she would ever see her mother. On August 20th, 1984, 2 days after calling her mother about the Bridgewater Fair, Pissarro said she received a call from her stepsister, Donna, who was Dominic's daughter from his first marriage, asking her to go by the house. Pissarro said, she said her dad, my stepfather, wanted to talk to us about our weddings, noting that she and Donna were both engaged to be married at the time. Pissarro said she found it strange that her mother wasn't the one to invite her over. When she went to the house after work the next day, no one was home. The house was locked, which Pissarro said was unusual because it was around dinner time and her mother would normally be home. Not only that, she said, but her mother's car, a gray 1982 Chevy Cavalier, was in the driveway with a smashed windshield. When Dominic eventually showed up to the house, Pissarro said she asked him where her mother was. He said he last saw her at the house that morning, and that she took money he had hidden around the house and took off, adding she doubted his account and was scared. So is it telling two different stories? So the story, or either that or the Charlie Project had it wrong. In the Charlie Project, it said that he willingly gave her what, $100,000 to $250,000. In this article, it said that she took money that he had hidden around the house and took off. So he's either changing the story or one of the articles is wrong. So Pissarro, who was 21 at the time, said it wasn't until Labor Day weekend, when her sister got a call from their stepsister about their mother's disappearance, that the two of them reported her missing to the police. And when state police first went to the Wakeman Hill Road residence, Pissarro said her mother's car was still in the driveway, and Dominic told them the same story he had told her, that his wife had taken off with at least $100,000 in cash that he had stashed around the house. Pissarro said the cops just took his word for it, noting that her mother's car was never forensically examined, and by their next visit, the car was gone. So neither Mary nor the car has ever been found. Within weeks of her mother's disappearance, Pissarro said Dominic moved his girlfriend into the Wakeman Hill residence, filed to divorce Mary less than a year later. Pissarro says he filed on grounds of desertion and was awarded it, no questions asked, even though there was an open missing persons case. They just gave it to him. Dominic went on to marry his girlfriend and transferred ownership of the Wakeman Hill residence to her in October of 2001. Sherman Land Records shows she later sold the property for $655,000 in November of 2022 to a couple from Paterson, New York. In 1986, a former member of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club told state police that Mary was unalived by one of Dominic's sons and a fellow gang member at Dominic's request. According to a 2013 News Times article, the informant told authorities that Dominic ordered the hit on Mary after she threatened to report alleged nefarious activities of his to police. So maybe he was mixed up with the motorcycle gang. In May of 2010, 26 years after Mary was reported missing, the state convened a one-man investigative grand jury in state superior court in New Britain to examine the circumstances surrounding her disappearance, with Dominic the target of the investigation. Pissarro said she was hopeful at the beginning, but the outcome of the months-long process left her disheartened. She said the people in power didn't do right by my mother, me, or my sister. After more than a year investigating the case, the grand jury failed to get enough evidence to charge anyone with the homicide, which, according to a June 2013 report, which noted a May 2013 court filing in which Dominic's attorney, Richard Meehan, stated that the grand jury concluded Mary died in August of 1984, but made, quote, no further finding on that issue. During the course of the grand jury investigation, a separate but related legal issue arose that resulted in Dominic serving some time behind bars, though not in direct connection with the disappearance of his former wife. After catching wind of the grand jury, authorities said Dominic attempted to bribe a New Britain judge with an offer of 100 G's in order to influence the investigation. Around the time of the November 2010 phone call, which Brunetti reported to authorities, so Brunetti was the judge that was bribed. Dominic transferred $185,000 from two different IRA accounts into a checking account, according to a bank branch manager who later testified during Dominic's 2013 bribery case jury trial in state superior court in Bridgeport. While his attorney asserted that the money was to afford a lawyer and bail, prosecutors argued that Badaracco wanted the bribery money on hand. After just 3 hours of deliberation, a 6-person jury found Dominic guilty of bribery in June of 2013. He was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. He lost an appeal, but was granted early release in 2016 after serving 3 years. Since the grand jury process, Pissarro said she has lost hope and decided that it would be best to distance herself from the case. She says the grand jury process was all-encompassing, very emotional, and very hard. It was hell, and I managed it, but I will never put myself through that again because it amounted to nothing. That is just heartbreaking. The State Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection website shows that Mary's open case is assigned to Connecticut State Police's Western District Major Crime Squad. They filed a FOIA act for records, but the request has not been fulfilled. Pissarro said it was not unusual for, quote, bad things to happen to people who tried to help solve her mother's case. And it's one reason she believes it remains unsolved. She says anyone who tried to get justice for her and us were threatened or severely penalized. She said, noting that former state representative and Danbury resident Lynn Tabersack, who served in the state legislature from 84 to 92, was among those threatened. Yeah, it sounds like Dominic has some connections. In 1990, Taborsak successfully lobbied the state to reclassify Mary's case as a homicide and petitioned the state to offer a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for her disappearance and or homicide. Pissarro says she was threatened, but Lynn did not back down. Not only was a brick thrown at the front window of her home, according to Taborsak, but her son was threatened at an adult league softball game. But she said the threats weren't going to stop her from doing what she believed was right. She says, it goes with the turf, stick your neck out when you need to, when it's right, and don't back down from decisions that are the correct ones. Due to Taborsak's advocacy, the reward for information in Mary's case was raised from $20,000 to $50,000 in 1997 and is still available today. Well, that's as of 2024. Taborsak said her hope is that Pissarro and her sister will one day have closure. She says, one would hope that the girls could someday learn what actually happened. It might be hurtful, but it would give them closure. Taborsak was one of the few people Pissarro said seemed to genuinely care about getting justice. She said another was Joe Bukowski, a now retired state police detective who was assigned to her mother's case in the early 2000s and worked on it for almost 10 years. She says he's a great man with a great heart who really tried hard for us. He put his teeth into it, dug in, and found out so much stuff. Oh my goodness, I know that was long, but I always like to get some perspective, most definitely from the family. That is just heartbreaking. And yeah, so in my opinion, Mr. Dominic had some connections somewhere, maybe with the Hells Angels, maybe with some high up officials, or both. But I'm sure you guys have a lot to say in comments. So, hold on, I hit the wrong button. So I will see what you guys have to say. Let me get back down to where I was. There I am. Okay. Yes. Arthur says marriage issues, nasty divorce, just waiting to hear life insurance. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned anything about life insurance, but there was a whole lots of stuff going on with Dominic, in my opinion. Hey, JP, there's our friend John Paul Hansen. Says, nice, I caught it live. Excellent. I caught the live. Good to have you here as always, sir. Please check out John Paul. He's been doing some live streams. I've been catching those. Yes, the car, Nancy says the car is very telling. I'm telling you, you know, the car window was smashed. There's a big red flag right there, obviously. And if she didn't leave in the car and the car was found at the end of the driveway, that means she either didn't leave, she walked, or somebody came and picked her up. In my opinion, she didn't leave. That's just, I'm gonna put it that way. Because the car keys, like I said, you could have two sets of keys, but the car keys were found along with her wedding ring in the home on a counter. So yeah, the car, and then they did not, law enforcement didn't take the car and process it. Then it mysteriously disappears a couple of days later. Lord have mercy. Drives me nuts. Thank you. Oh, what did I do? Everything turned blue. Hold on. There we go. Yes, thank you, Arctic. That is JP's second channel, his true crime channel. And there is his music channel. Yep, lots and lots of red flags. Telling you, no, Dominic was messed up in something. He had friends in high places, Well, look who we have here. The national treasure. Hello, Mr. Steve. Good to have you here. I hope you made it to, I think you were going to Florida because you were supposed to have a show last night, but said you were traveling. So I hope you made it safely to wherever you were going to. It's always good to have Mr. Steve here. If you guys have not checked out True Crime Web, Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve, as Mom would say, Mind the Monsters, what are you doing with your life? Definitely check out. Thank you. Yep, there's the link. He is the best. There's Miss Marion. Hello, Miss Marion. Good to see you. She says, liked and shared. Hello, everyone. I have grandkids. Oh, thank you all for supporting and sharing our stories about our loved ones. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good to see Miss Marion. I hadn't seen you in a while. Yes, there is Mr. Arctic's channel. Once again, there is Timmy's Legacy channel. Yes, Mr. Steve says it appears motorcycle club members make more than law enforcement. You would be correct. In my opinion, yeah, sounds like these motor club, yeah, because these, what they call them, the 1%ers, the ones that are the outlaw bikers, like such as the Hells Angels and others, criminals, modern day racketeers, I call them, because they do take down a lot of the, just like they did back in the day with the mafia. They do take down a lot of these motorcycle clubs with the RICO Act. So yes, I believe you are correct. Thank you. There is Miss Jana, Justice for Crystal McCrory Jones, $1.99. Hey, everyone. Hello, Miss Jana. Thank you so much for being here. And guess what? We get to put another cow in the pasture. Thank you, Miss Jana. Good to have you here as always. And thank you for that. Let me get back to my comments. I keep pushing the wrong buttons here. Oh, everything jumped again. There is Miss PJ. Hello, Miss PJ. Always good to have Miss PJ from Lighting Their Way Home here. Another wonderful channel to check out. You can find all the links to all our friend channels in the, if you go to the main page of my channel, scroll all the way down. All the links are there. Please do check every one of them out. I have to put in Klein's channel. I got to put in Missing Black People Not Forgot, or The Forgotten. Got to add him in there, but I will definitely do that. They're speaking to Mom. Hello, Sunshine. Good to have you here, ma'am. Always good to have Mom here. I hope you're doing well. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody who's throwing in links for me. I always forget to thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Miss PJ said we had an earthquake today. It was interesting. Yeah, we were discussing that a little bit earlier. Did you feel it, Miss PJ? Oh, Miss PJ said it shook her house. Wow. Craziness. We got earthquakes, we got fires, we got snow, we got floods, we got landslides now, and because now California is getting some rain, which is helping with the fires. But now, though, with the burn scars, it's causing mudslides, landslides. So everything going on. It's too much. All right, I am caught up, so I will mark that, and we will see who we have next. We have Raymond G. Carey. Let me find his information. And I believe I was not able to find any additional information on Raymond. Uh-oh, now everything's froze up. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So this one is from 1963. So Raymond has been missing since October 25th, 1963 from Hartford, Connecticut. He is a white male. He was just 16 years old when he went missing. He would be 77 years old. And that smaller picture is an age progression of him to 72. So at the time he went missing, he was 5'6", 130 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. He has a scar on his lip. He was last seen wearing a dark green sweater, a dark green sports shirt, black pants, and sorry, my legs are getting cold. Black pants and gray suede shoes. So Raymond was last seen during the evening. Yeah, Raymond. Okay. Raymond was last seen during the evening of October 25th, 1963. He left his home in the 70 block of Daniel Boulevard in Bloomfield, Connecticut around 7:15 p.m. He intended to go to a movie, but he changed his mind and went to a bowling alley instead. Then he went to a Pi Kappa Sigma sorority dance at the Lithuanian Dance Hall, which was in the 200 block of Lawrence Street in Hartford, Connecticut. While he was at the dance, Raymond told another boy that he had a ride home. A witness did see him leaving the dance hall with 3 other teenage boys. To me, this is in my opinion, the key. I mean, what I would be looking at. So witnesses saw him leaving with 3 other teenage boys. He never returned home, never been seen or heard from again after that. And his parents did report him missing the next morning. At the time of his disappearance, he was a junior at Bloomfield High School. He lived with his parents and his sister. He enjoyed sports and played on the basketball and softball teams at Bethel Baptist Church. He had no prior history of running away. His case remains unsolved. It says Bloomfield police are investigating. So if you do have any information, call the Bloomfield Police Department at 860-242-5501. Like I said, I was not able to find, let me double check and make sure, any additional articles with any additional information, with any family members, law enforcement updates. But I mean, this case is from 1963. So it's what, 60 something years. So unfortunately, that's what we find in a lot of these really old cold cases, that there's just not any information out there to find, or at least to find on the my resources, which is the Google machine. But we'll go with what we have. Anything is better than nothing. So that was Raymond. Let's see what you guys had to say real quick. Yes, we are always glad to. Mom says, True Crime Wave, glad to have you here. I thought I missed you this weekend. Oh, I believe he was traveling this weekend. Yes, it is always good to have Mr. Steve here. Absolutely. All right, so next we have, this is such a sad one, a baby, Jovanna Stacy Crawford. And let me get her information. So Jovanna was last seen on June 5th, 1981 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This is considered a and this one is going to piss you off. Sorry, so, lack of a better word, piss you off. This is considered a non-family abduction. She was a Black female. She was just 1 year old when she disappeared. She will be 45 years old today. The smaller photo on the slide is an age progression to 43. At the time she went missing, she was 2 foot 5 inches tall and 30 pounds. Black hair and brown eyes. Some agencies may spell her first name Jovonna, her middle name, or her middle name Stacy, Stacy. Her ears were pierced, and she was last seen wearing a blue and white jumpsuit. So, Jovanna's mother's then boyfriend, Ronald Garrett, was watching Jovanna in her family's residence in the P.T. Barnum housing project, which was on Taylor Drive in Bridgeport, Connecticut, on June 5th, 1981. Jovanna's mother told him to bring Jovanna to her maternal great-grandmother named Mary, who also lived in the housing project. So Garrett, who was the mother's boyfriend at the time, later stated that an unidentified boy arrived at the home at around 10:20 a.m. and told Garrett that Mary Morales, who was the maternal great-grandmother, had sent him over to retrieve Jovanna. He described the boy as about 10 or 11 years old, African-American with small braids in his hair. He stated he thought he recognized the boy as a neighborhood child, and he permitted him to take Jovanna. After that, she was never seen again. Well, as far as my opinion, for one, I don't believe this guy's story for 1 second. And for two, if it's true, why would you let a 10 or 11-year-old child take a 1-year-old child? Just because he come over there and said, and even if the maternal grandmother did send this 10 or 11-year-old child over to retrieve a 1-year-old child, but like I said, I'm really not, but please let me know in chat. I know you guys will. I'm really not buying the boyfriend story. And I don't think a lot of people did. So Ronald Garrett was arrested for felony risk of injury to a minor on June 9th, which is 4 days after Jovanna's disappearance, for giving, basically handing this 1-year-old child over to another child. He was convicted and sentenced to just 1 year in prison. Jovanna's grandparents and great-grandparents occasionally babysit her, but Miss Morales, who this Garrett fella said sent this 10-year-old boy over to pick up Jovanna, said that she never sent anybody over that day to pick up Jovanna. She said, I didn't, don't know what you're talking about. I never sent anybody to pick up the child. So there is no evidence, surprise, surprise, there is no evidence that the boy that Garrett described even existed. He has never changed his story, however, and maintains that he had nothing to do with Jovanna's disappearance. Foul play is suspected in Jovanna's disappearance. She lived with her mother and brother in 1981, and her case remains unsolved. Oh, it's heartbreaking. So if you have any information, you can call the Bridgeport Police Department at 203-576-7671. So I think I do have an article with maybe an interview with her mother. So this is from September of 2022. A mother searching for her missing daughter after her boyfriend told her a stranger picked the toddler up. Mary Corbin, who lived in the 80 block of Taylor Drive in the P.T. Barnum Housing Project in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Mary had a son and a 21-month-old daughter named Jovanna Stacy Crawford. Mary's grandmother, who was Jovanna's great-grandmother, Mary Moales, lived in a separate apartment in the housing project. On June 5th, 1981, Mary Corbin had to work and asked her then boyfriend, Ronald Garrett, to babysit Jovanna until her grandmother could pick her up. So Ronald agreed. Mary went to work. When Mary returned home from work, Jovanna was gone. Ronald said that while he was babysitting, a young boy with braids between 10 and 11 years old knocked on the apartment door. He said the boy told him that Mary, the great-grandmother, sent him to pick up Jovanna, and Ronald told Jovanna's mother that he gave Jovanna to this boy. Mary Moales said she never sent anyone for Jovanna and has no idea who the boy is that Ronald described. Jovanna has never been seen again, and authorities do not believe Ronald. Detective Joseph Badaracco said, I have not found any evidence that the 10-year-old boy existed. Once again, on June 9th, 1981, authorities arrested Ronald Garrett for felony risk of injury of a minor. The charges were based on Ronald giving Jovanna to the unidentified boy. Once again, Ronald continued. He maintained his story, the description of the boy. He served 10 months in prison. Mary, who once again is Jovanna's mother, says, I have asked him, and he still keeps to the story of the 10-year-old boy with braids in his hair. But I know he had something to do with her disappearance because he has never shown any remorse or even asked if he could help find her. Jovanna Crawford has never been found. The boy has never been identified. Mary says she was just a sweet, quiet child, a very loving child. I realized that now, after all this time, she would be on her own, but I would still like to get her home. That is my dream, for her to finally be back home with me. Once again, Jovanna was 21 months old. She weighed 30 pounds when she vanished. Black hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a blue and white jumpsuit when she disappeared. Once again, if you have any information, please contact the Bridgeport Police Department at 203-576-7671 or Detective Badaracco at either 203-581-5293 or 203-581-5201, or you can call NCMEC at 1-800-843-5678, which is 1-800-THE-LOST. So just heartbreaking. And yeah, I'm just not buying was it Ronald's story, Mr. Garrett's story about this 10 or 11-year-old child. No, not buying it. And I'm sure you guys aren't buying it either. Mr. Steve said he's going to be in Florida for a few days. Yes, exactly. Arctic says, exactly. If the story is true, he's about as competent as a bladeless razor. I know. crazy. I mean, like I said, even if it is true, I mean, true. They said they lived in the same apartment complex as Ronald and the great grandmother, Jovanna's great grandmother. But still, I mean, 10 or 11-year-old is still a child, in my opinion. And I didn't, yeah. That's why he was charged and convicted of, if it was true, which I don't think it is, of endangering, endangering a child. Oh my goodness. Yes, she is a beautiful baby. And that is the only picture, unfortunately, of little Jovanna. Because I searched to Google and that was the only picture that came up. That and the age progression picture. But yes, she is a beautiful baby. Yep. Thank you, Miss Doodle. There is True Crime Web. And Mind of Monsters. Thank you, Miss Doodle, for getting all the links in. Oh, Mr. C says, for some reason, my old phone quit working after a few hundred drops. Oh, sounds like mine. At least I haven't broken my screen yet. I'm just waiting for that to happen. All right, so that is little Jovanna. And once again, the links to all the sources, articles that I use, and a link to the Charlie Project is in the description box. So you can go read the stories, read the articles again. If you don't want to share out the video, the live stream, you can copy and paste the link, share the links to all the articles with the information. Anything like that is definitely helpful. All right. Next, we have Elisa Ann Calvo. Need a drink and get her information. Oh, we're only an hour and a half. We're doing good. Hold on, guys. I got to blow my nose. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Lisa Ann Calvo has been missing since October 6, 2005 from New Haven, Connecticut. She was 40 years old when she went missing. She'll be 59 years old today. At the time she went missing, she was tiny. She's shorter than me. 4'11" and 105 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of a spider web on her right thigh, and it just says an additional tattoo on her right leg. It says she was addicted to the H substance, and she was in poor health at the time of her disappearance. So Lisa Ann was last seen by family members on the morning of October 6, 2005 in New Haven, Connecticut. She was homeless at the time. She occasionally lived on the streets. But on the day of her disappearance, she said she planned to move back in with her parents and enter a drug treatment program. Lisa had lost custody of her children as a result of her addiction, and she wanted to get them back. She had a court appearance scheduled in New Haven, and she had asked her mother to wire her some money so she could, so she could travel to court. Authorities confirmed that she did pick up the money at approximately 5:30 p.m., and this is the last sign of her. So her loved ones have not heard from her since her disappearance, though there have been possible sightings of her in the local area. In 2005, she frequented the Grand Avenue and Murray Place areas of New Haven. She knew Evelyn Frisco, who we're also I'm going to share with you tonight, who is another New Haven woman who vanished the year before Lisa did. She was never found. but there are no indications that their cases are connected. In spite of Lisa's addiction and her transient lifestyle, she did keep in regular touch with her family, and they say it is uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are unclear. Her case remains unsolved. So if you have any information, you can call the New Haven Police Department at 203-946-6316. I think I may have had couple of short articles with maybe a little bit of additional information or just a little bit more detail. So this first article is from May of 2016 from the New Haven Independent. It says Mike Wuchek and his fellow New Haven detectives delivered reward flyers to 1,000 Fairhaven doors this weekend in hopes of finding new clues to a decades-old mystery, what happened to Lisa Calvo. Calvo was last heard from on October 6, 2005. Originally from New Britain, she last lived at the time on a side street in Fairhaven called Murray Place, which apparently doesn't exist anymore. Apparently an apartment complex was built where it was. Calvo was homeless at the time of her disappearance. She was 41 years old, 4'11", 105 pounds. She was the mother of toddler twins. Over the years, New Haven cops chased lead after lead. They brought cadaver dogs to Russell Street, to Middletown Avenue, to the West Haven dump, to Marsh's Woods, basically everywhere with no luck. Woodcheck said, we have not been able to come up with her whereabouts, whether she is safe or not. And he took over the investigation of September, 2016. The governor has, at the time, approved a $50,000 reward for information that helps police to crack the case. Police asked people with info to call 203-946-6288. It says that Calvo worked as a prostitute in Fairhaven to support a habit. He says the drug world and that lifestyle is inherently dangerous, but when people's lives are taken in that lifestyle, they're not usually hidden. We find them, and unfortunately, Lisa is just gone, they said. Woodcheck said police have no idea if she still is alive or not. Calvo's parents, who attended a press conference at police headquarters, quote, deserve to know what happened to her. Her kids deserve to know what happened to their mom. She deserves our full attention. Absolutely. Once again, Lisa had planned to move back in with her parents and begin treatment when she went missing. The State Department of Correction included Lisa's picture and information on a pack of cold case playing cards. We've seen, I wonder where you can get those, because I've seen just pictures of them, of these playing cards where they, on the back of them, they have the missing persons. Sorry, I lost my place. So it distributed these 3 years ago in prisons. She was the 5 of hearts. Woodcheck said Calvo will be included when the DOC distributes a new deck. Another woman who moved in similar Fairhaven circles, Evelyn Frisco, disappeared a year earlier than Lisa. Police said they have not found evidence to connect the two cases. Okay, so that was that one. And then I have, I believe, one talking about the searches they did for Lisa. If I can find it. So this is, once again, from the New Haven Independent from June of 2016. It says, it turns out that Lisa Calvo's body was not buried in the back of a Kimberly Avenue towing yard, at least not as far as New Haven detectives could tell. But they are not giving up on the hunt for answers to a 10-year-old mystery of why she disappeared. A crew of about 20 investigators spent the past week digging through the dirt at 3 separate subdivided lots in the rear of Catapano's Auto Body and Towing. following up on one of several new leads that have emerged in the missing persons case. The police obtained a search warrant, allowing them to search the premises for 10 days. They spent 7 of the last 8 days at the site from 6:30 or 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., scouring the dirt for clues. The crew included members of the police department's major crime unit, Bureau of Identification, the state police, including a cadaver sniffing dog, and University of New Haven's forensics department. City public works drivers cleared brush from the lots. Then they dug a little bit of dirt at a time while the state police canines sniffed around, and a duo from UNH checked the dirt with ground penetrating radar. They were following up on information gathered in recent weeks about Calvo's disappearance 10 years ago. She was last heard from on October 6th, a day before she was scheduled to enter a treatment program. We've already went over that. Police recently revived the investigation with the mass distribution of posters offering a $50,000 reward for information, helping them crack the case. That effort helped lead them to the dirt behind Catapanos, where detectives said they got deep sunburns and poison ivy rashes working in all this weeds and dirt. Detective Michael Woodcheck says she matters as much as anybody else. She has a family. She has people who love her. Absolutely. She deserves as much time, effort, and blood, sweat, and tears as anybody else. If we don't find her here, we're going to continue to look and not stop until we find her. It says on the first morning of work, the team focused on 2 spots on either side of a fence separating 2 side lots in the backyard. They searched, they dug up with backhoes, cleared the brush. They just start repeating themselves a lot here. So they came upon a lot of just old tires, car parts, stuff like that. But unfortunately, they did not find any sign of Lisa. Says, although the Catapano search has led to a dead end for now, Woodcheck vowed that investigators have just gotten started. He says, we'll just keep going until we find her. So just a little bit on the extensive search that they did for her. Thank goodness. Because unfortunately, we've all know, anybody who follows true crime, that people with certain lifestyles sometimes, not all the time, are not given as much attention or effort as others. But it sounds like they did a really good job in searching for Lisa. So hopefully one of these days they will find something. We'll find something. Oh goodness. Mr. Steve says after the last drop, talking about his phone, it released all the pretty colors that hide under the screen. I know my baby sister-in-law, the one that passed away, she was always dropping her phone, breaking her screen. It was like a kaleidoscope of colors. I'm like, how do you even see anything on it? All I saw was just color. Oh, yes. OtterBoxes. Mom says you need an OtterBox. Yes, I used to have an OtterBox. Thank you so much. Arctic's probably already gone. He said his meds are kicking in. We'll catch the rest on replay. Thank you, Arctic. Thank you for being here, my friend. Always wonderful to have Arctic here. How did you break, Mr. Steve, how did you break an OtterBox? OtterBoxes are unbreakable. Oh, goodness. He says, I had an OtterBox, but once you break the OtterBox, the phone surrenders and quits. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, but I guess if anybody could break an OtterBox, it would be Mr. Steve. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I have seen, Mom was mentioning the military grade cases. I have seen those. There's Aquarian one. Hello, Aquarian. Says hi, Southern Gal and friends. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday to you too, Aquarian. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, I think we got a couple more. So let me mark right there. Next, we have Jerry Dolphin. Let me. Another one that I was not able to find a whole lot of information about. Sometimes the trolley project, as sketchy as they are, sometimes with their information is all that we have to go on. I did find he was listed in the DOE network, although he is missing. He's not been found. But Jerry has been missing since October 1st, 1994. Once again, from New Haven, Connecticut. He's a black male. He was just 20 years old when he went missing. He will be 50 years old as of 2025. At the time he went missing, he was 5'11" to 6 foot, 180 pounds. Brown hair and brown eyes. It says he had fractured his arm as a child, and his hair was styled in a short afro at the time of his disappearance. So Jerry was last seen in New Haven sometime, it just says sometime during mid-October of 1994. Says he was in weekly contact with his family and friends at the time of his disappearance and never left the New Haven area unless accompanied by a relative. He's never been seen or heard from again. So on August 21st of 1994, approximately 2 months before Jerry disappeared, 74-year-old Gladys Punch and her 76-year-old brother Warren Tarkington were GSW'd in broad daylight at the St. Lawrence Cemetery off of Derby Street. It says they had been putting flowers on Miss Punch's husband's grave when they were ambushed in an apparent robbery attempt. And investigators believe that Jerry could have been a witness to this crime and may have been unalived to ensure his silence. Although police have a suspect in the double homicide, Punch and Tarkington's homicides, they've never been solved. They say it is uncharacteristic of Jerry to leave without warning. Foul play is suspected in this case, which remains unsolved. So it's basically all the information that we have on Jerry. But like I said, we'll take what we can get. So if you have any information regarding Jerry's case, you can call the New Haven Police Department at 866-888-8477. Like I said, for some reason, he does have a, I think it is the DOE network. And I'm trying to see if there was any, it just said the police have developed information that Jerry was the victim of foul play. They believe there are individuals who know what happened or can corroborate information police have about the case to help identify those responsible for the crime. Investigators have been continually working on the case, but have not developed a case solid enough to obtain an arrest. So that's the information from the DOE network. So let's hope, as Mom says, Mom's here. I guess she's still here. You see something, say something. If you know something, say something. So apparently they do have suspects in this double homicide that they think Jerry may have witnessed, and then in return, he may have been killed so he couldn't, So hopefully, let's just hope that somebody does the right thing and comes forward with information. Miss Paula said the case from UNH, which campus was it? Oh, let me go. I have to go back and remember which one it was. Was it Raymond? Hold on. Let me check. Miss Paula. Hope it wasn't Raymond. I forgot which one was the UNH. I remember mentioning it. Let me find it. Oh, it was somebody. It was just somebody. Hold on. I think in Lisa Calvo's case, when they were searching, just some people from the University of New Hampshire had come to help with the search. I think that's what it was. Let me go back and make sure. I think it was in the article where they were looking or doing the searches for Lisa. Let me find it. Let's see. It says the crew included members of the police department, major crimes unit, the state police, and it just says the University of is New Haven, University of New Haven's forensics department. So it was the University of New Haven forensics department is what it said. So, but thank you for that. Yeah, it was this case, Lisa's case. All right, so we did Jerry. I think Evelyn. We have one more, Evelyn, and she has mentioned that she disappeared 1 year. I think 1 year after Lisa disappeared. Let me get her. So Evelyn Frisco went missing on June 29th, 2004, once again from New Haven. She's a white female. She was 42 years old when she went missing. She'll be 62 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'2", 125 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. It says that she wore an upper denture plate. Her natural hair color is brown. She has a scar on her right leg and the following tattoos: the word Gemini on her ankle, and a rose, butterfly, or sunset, and the name Phil, Phil, on her right shoulder. And her nickname is Evie or Evie. And she was last seen wearing jeans. It just says jeans and black shoes. And she was possibly carrying a black pocketbook. So Evelyn was last seen in New Haven on June 29th, 2004. She made a court appearance and she was sentenced to 2 years of conditional discharge. This was in connection with a shoplifting arrest. She vanished after a court hearing. She's been never been seen or heard from again after that. It says her life was troubled. She had prior involvement in illegal substances and prostitution. She did have an arrest record. Just before her birthday in May of 2004, she told her mother, quote, "I think this is my last birthday," and implied that someone was going to harm her. It says that she had reportedly been a police informant before she disappeared. So maybe that statement about implying that somebody's going to harm her, maybe she thought possibly somebody found out that she was an informant and was maybe going to hurt her for that reason. So her mother stated that in spite of her lifestyle, she always maintained contact with her family. Her mother did not report her missing until the end of 2004. So she went missing or was last seen. Okay. Yeah. In June of 2004. But her mother did not report her missing until the end of 2004 because she thought that Evelyn was in jail. So Frisco, Evelyn knew Lisa Calvo, who we talked about earlier, who was another New Haven woman who disappeared the year after. So Lisa disappeared the year after Evelyn. There's no indication, once again, that their cases are connected. Authorities believe that Evelyn did meet foul play. Her case remains unsolved. So if you have any information, you can call the New Haven Police Department at 203-946-6304. And I think I may have a little bit, just some, if I can make it bigger so I can read it. The only thing I was able to find on Evelyn is some quotes from an article, a news article that was posted on Reddit. So I won't go over it. He gives, whoever the author of this was, goes over the information we've already gone over, but I'll just give you the information from the article. So it's interesting, though, that whoever wrote this, and I have not spent a whole lot of time on Reddit. I've heard, you know, it could be sketchy, but then again, you can get some good information. But whoever wrote this said that because there was, on the Charlie Project, they said that there was one tattoo that they didn't go into detail about, and whoever wrote this says, in their opinion, it says, I believe law enforcement are being vague about the subject of the tattoo so they can trap someone if they can identify this tattoo. Says both dental and DNA information are on file for Evelyn, but her fingerprints are not. Although she went missing in 2004, her DNA was not collected in 2014. Trying to find the part of the article. Okay, so it says Evelyn's 42nd birthday occurred about 2 months before she disappeared. Diane, her mother, reports that, like I said earlier, shortly before she went missing, or shortly before her birthday, she asked her mom if she could have some money. I think this is my last birthday. She thought her mother says she thought someone was after her. This may have been in connection with her role as a police informant. She apparently took this role to try to lessen the punishment she received for her frequent crimes. She knew where people dealed and cooperated. She did cooperate in a drug sting that led to an arrest. The police have not been able to confirm or deny her role as a PI. The police lieutenant said, our confidential informants are confidential. We don't have any evidence to link her disappearance to any case she is thought to or might have been helping with for the New Haven Police Department. There is no evidence if that happened that it was linked to her disappearance. Evelyn's mother believes that the target of the sting that Evelyn assisted with was, quote, the wrong person to anger, and she fears that the person was aware of her daughter's court date. She believes that if that was the case, the person may have located her after the court session was over and gotten revenge. Another alternative she poses is that her daughter fled out of fear of retaliation from the person who got arrested. Her mother thinks that even if this was the case, she would have heard from her daughter at this point. So police did collect Evelyn's mother's DNA in September of 2014 in hopes of connecting her with female remains discovered in Vernon, Connecticut. It turned out, I did read a little bit about that. They were not Evelyn or Lisa Calvo, because they were both tested for to see if they matched Lisa Calvo or Evelyn. Evelyn's mother said, I saw the Vernon case sketch on television, and my granddaughter saw it and thought it looked like Evelyn around the eyes. She continued to say she wasn't sure the sketch resembled her daughter. Like I said, it turned out the remains ended up being of a local woman who's suspected of taking her own life. According to Evelyn's mother, she did know Lisa Calvo. Just seeing if there's anything else that we haven't already gone over. Detective Johnson speaks about leads for the case. He says, we haven't had anything in quite a while, but these missing person cases are never closed. If we do get information, we'll go and pursue it. Evie's mother always loved her no matter what trouble she was in. At one point, she called the police after her daughter took $300 out of her bank account without permission. She says, I called the police. I live on that. It is my Social Security, but no matter what she did, she was still my daughter. Her mother hopes Evelyn is still alive, but she fears that isn't the case. Janet, her mother says, for a while, if I heard a knock on the door at night, I'd think maybe it was Evelyn. You cannot give up hope. Absolutely. Anytime I talk about her, I start crying. It's just so sad. In the winter, when it is cold, I wonder if she is out there. Even if I know what happened to her, it is better than having to wonder. Her mother goes on to say, I feel that police don't pay as much attention if it is a missing adult as they would if it were a young person. And not every family has the money to put up a reward. I know police are busy, but they still need to look into what happened to these missing people. Evelyn's mother became concerned with missing people after her daughter went missing, and she has regularly attended vigils for missing people in the state ever since. She says that, quote, it makes you feel better to go to the vigil because there are others in the same situation. I've heard Miss Barbara Hall, I don't know if Miss Barbara's still in here, say that so many times. And Miss Barbara does excellent work helping with other families with missing loved ones. In 2008, Evelyn's mom took out a newspaper ad for her daughter's birthday. It said, quote, happy birthday, my dear daughter, wherever you are. It has been almost 4 years since you went away. It has given me many sad days and nights. I know there are plenty of angels watching over you. A lot of my friends are praying for your safe return. I'll always love you, Mom. Oh, it just breaks my heart. Oh. So I think that was all the information that was included. Oh my goodness. These cases just break my heart. Let's see. Paula, I don't know. It didn't say what campus it was. It just said University of New Haven. That's all it said, honey. Oh, sorry. I already answered that. Sorry. Was it the Durham campus that those people were from? I don't know. It didn't say. Yes, bless her heart. Yeah, Evelyn's mom just most definitely just breaks my heart. Yes, Mom says Miss Barb is a rock and a rock star and an inspiration for us all. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I think that is the last one I had. So if you guys have anything else, hey, we did good. We got through those 7 of them in 2 hours. Like I said, unfortunately, on a 2 or 3 of them, I didn't have, wasn't able to find a whole lot of additional information aside from Charlie Project information. But hey, like I said, we'll take what we can get, even if it is just a Charlie Project. Absolutely, Miss Barb. Absolutely. All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, oh, thank you, ma'am. I just get up here. I'm just a crazy woman that gets up here and blabs out this information. Hopefully I get it across the best way I can. I'm hoping I may be getting a little bit better at it the more I do it. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe. So it's Monday. Trying to think of what my schedule is going to be. We may try to do something Wednesday night, maybe. I need to get a hold of regarding the John Brent McGee case. I need to get a hold of his sister and Miss Christie, the friend and advocate. They were making the rounds again of not talk shows, but YouTube podcasts and stuff. Try to get them on sometime, maybe this week, hopefully. But I know that Miss Christie is out in California, so with all that stuff going on, and Miss Lisa Jo was still wanted to get together for that Royal Russell Long thing. I think me and you and Arctic and whoever else wanted to join, Mom, to talk about that. But let me know, because I think you said you were doing some FOIA requests or something for some information on that. So do let me know when you get ready to do that, and we will definitely do a live stream on that. Mom says your crazy matches my crazy. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Miss Paula. Thank you, Miss Barb. You are most welcome. You are most welcome, Miss Paula. Please do check out Miss Paula. She is an inspiration. She is a shining light. I love watching her shorts that she does in the mornings. Always so positive. I should have knocking stuff over here. I should have some videos to upload during the week. Some missing, some cold case missing, some unsolved homicides to upload through the week. So be on the lookout for that. So once again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to all, so you know when I do upload a video or go live. Other than that, I think that is it for now. So I appreciate everybody being here in chat. Thank you, everybody who is throwing in links for me. I appreciate it very much. We made it through a live stream with no trolls tonight. Last couple of live streams, we've had a little bit of trouble, but everybody was throwing wrenches and on troll patrol, so they were taken care of fairly quickly, if I can talk. Thank you to everybody watching replay. We love our replay crew. Thank you to the lurkers. We love our lurkers also. I think that's it. Oh, I should have been multitasking while I was doing all that, trying to find my video that I always cannot find, that I can't find. Oh, there it is, I think. There it is. All right, guys. Yes, Wackatrol. Yes. Yeah. We had one on the Friday night on the True Crime After Dark. We had one, and I think stream before we had one. Yep, everybody loves to play Wackatrol. Yep. Yeah, they were handled fairly quickly. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna quit babbling now. So I will let you know what we decide to do, if I can do a live stream Wednesday. If not, I probably won't be able to do one Friday, True Crime After Dark, unless it's a late one. It may be I could do a late True Crime After Dark at about 11:15 or so Central Time. So if any of you guys are yeah, Mom says if you're getting trolls, you're doing it right. Well, I guess I'm doing it right, because just lately, about the last couple of weeks or so, it's just been coming in. So I'm doing something right, I guess. All right, guys, I'm really going to quit babbling now. I'll get off of here. Miss Lisa Jo says she gets, oh yeah, I'll get done with work at 10:30. Excellent. Yep. We may do it. It might be just a fun one, a decompression, because we haven't done a decompression True Crime or Southern Gal After Dark in a while. So we may do that Friday night around 11. Yeah, about 11:15, 11:30 Friday night Central Time. So we may do that. Talk about some movie trivia, or something, whatever we want to do. Anything goes on Southern Gal After Dark. Thank you, Miss Barb. Says good night, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, all. Absolutely. And once again, thanks once again to Honeybee for the $10 super sticker. And thanks once again to Miss Jana for the $1.99 super chat. So once again, just for the sake, because we all love the cow. That is for everybody. That is for everybody. Because anybody, whether you donate or a member or not, just by being here and listening to me babble and supporting the chat, sharing it out, that is contributing, that is donating. So I appreciate everything, everything. So that one's for everybody. All right. Oh, Mom says, yes, trivia. Yes, I love trivia. I love trivia. Oh, goodness. The cow. Miss Lisa says, my dog just heard that and stared at the TV. Oh, yeah. So even the doggies love that. So how did your ice fishing go? Was it ice fishing that you and the doggies were going to do, Miss Lisa Joe? I think I saw you posted on Facebook the cutest picture of your doggies. And I think you said something about going ice fishing or some incredibly cold thing that you're going to do. Oh, goodness. Oh, wait, she just put he's. Did you mean yes? Oh, yes. Okay, well, at least you didn't freeze to death. You're a braver woman than I am, but I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled Southern girl. I don't like the cold. Oh, goodness. She says, my dog kept grabbing my bobber out of the hole. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I could see that. Oh, on your channel? On Facebook or on... I'm confused. Wait a minute, you're talking about your channel. Unconfuse me before we leave. Did you... Wait a minute, you have a channel? I thought you didn't have a channel. How did I... What happened? What did I miss? I missed something. Is it under this profile right here? Lisa Joe Fine Bob Carton? Barb Cotton? Welcome back, Skits. Oh, that's right. I have... Okay, well, yeah, I have... Never mind. Duh. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I had a senior moment. Yes, I have. I'm gonna have to watch it. I haven't watched that one, but I've watched your other ones. Okay, I got you. I got you. Sorry, a senior moment. Senior moment. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. I'll let you know about maybe Wednesday. We might talk about a case or something, or just share some current missing persons or something of that nature. Thank you. There, Mom got Miss Lisa's link in there. Thank you so much. Yep, and Skits did live earlier for anybody who may have come in late and did not know. So I'm definitely going to check that out. And Doodles and Klein's, I think they did one earlier today. Go check that out again. I got to figure out how to do, I don't know how to do that words on stream. I know Miss PJ does that. I don't know. I wonder if my farm signal would allow me to do that. Somebody will have to email me or message me on Facebook and tell me how to do that. Because I do like, sometimes Miss PJ will do words on the stream on the weekend, and I like to go over there and play. But if somebody can tell me how to do it on here, we could definitely do that. Most definitely. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, maybe Wednesday. Oh, good. So if your swamp, Mom says her swamp signal lets her. So maybe if your swamp signal lets you do it, maybe my cow fart signal will let me do it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Barb. It's got Mom's Mind the Monsters link in there. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. I will check it. Thank you, ma'am. All right, guys. I'm gonna quit babbling now and get off here. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm. Be careful out there. Take care of each other. We're all we got. We have to take care of each other. And I will hopefully see you in a couple of days. Thanks, guys.